What is going on, guys? So these are 10 signs you have depression. Are you depressed? Go ahead and smash that like button down below if you're ready to kick depression in the butt today. Go ahead and leave me a comment throughout this video. Do you show any of these 10 signs I'm going to give you? Are you depressed? What's your story? How long have you been struggling with it? Now, guys, this is something that I dealt with on and off for about 5 years. I would have bouts of depression, but it was also fueled from my health anxiety, my panic disorder, and my social anxiety. So I had anxiety disorders fueling my depression, and it made things worse over time. So I have some background and experience. My heart goes out to you if you're suffering from this. At the end of this video, we'll talk about some things that you can do to make life easier, to make this process easier, recovering from depression. So we're gonna get right into it. The first sign, guys, is you have unexplained sadness. You have unexplained sadness. You can't figure out why you're sad. Everything in your life's going great. You know, you got that great husband or wife, you have wonderful and beautiful, healthy children, you have that nice house, that nice job, career, everything in your life is going great. But for some reason, you still feel down in the dumps. Now for me, this wasn't the case in the beginning. In the beginning, it was fueled by those other anxiety disorders. See, I was having panic attacks every day, 5 to 10 of them. I was worried about my health. I had horrible health anxiety. I was a hypochondriac. I had horrible social anxiety. This led to my depression initially. But later on, I started noticing, especially when I was recovering from those anxiety disorders, it took me about a year to recover from those 3 anxiety disorders, by the way. I would have great days where everything was going good and my life was looking better, but I would still have this cloud raining over me. And I don't know why, but it was just the case. I was like, wow, you know, depression is like that freaking strong and powerful, okay? It really had a hold over me and made me realize, like, man, I need to get this under control as well. So that might be the biggest indicator out of all these tips that I'm about to give you. I want to give you the best one first. It's kind of opposite of what most YouTubers do, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. The next one, guys, is weight fluctuations. Now, typically this would be 5 pounds or more going up or going down. We have 2 types of people. I was the type that overate for comfort. I would binge eat. I would eat all the worst kinds of foods. For some reason, I didn't gain any weight. I think it was because of my young age at the time. And I was still fairly active, so I didn't really gain a lot of weight. But I was, during that 5-year period, I was probably consuming like literally 3 to 4, maybe 5, 6,000 calories a day, because I was trying to comfort myself with all the worst types of foods. It's very easily with those types of foods to go over your calorie intake for the day, your daily recommended amount. Then there are people, guys, that are under eating. Your appetite is gone and you are losing weight. So I wasn't on that end of the spectrum, but there are definitely people dealing with that. That's also very common. All right, the third one is you have an anxiety disorder. 50% of people with depression also have an anxiety disorder. Same thing with anxiety disorders. 50% of people with anxiety disorders have depression. You see, I'll just flip-flop there, yeah. Anyways, I was lucky and blessed enough to have 3 of them. My panic disorder, my health anxiety, and my social anxiety. So depression was like, you know, it was easy to come by for me. The fourth one, guys, is insomnia. This is terrible. Going 2 or 3 days without sleep for me was one of the worst things I've ever dealt with. I would lose jobs. I would be late. I never had any energy. I was always mopey, tired. It only made my depression and my anxiety disorders that much worse because I was dealing with this. It was a vicious cycle. Now, short term, guys, there are a couple things that can help, but let's be real. You have to be proactive and work on your depression every single day and work on depression management for the long-term success, if you will, with insomnia. It's not gonna magically disappear because you start taking melatonin, okay? It's not gonna be a quick fix. You have to work at it. But melatonin is out there, guys. It can help get the ball rolling, and I guess that's what we wanna do with insomnia. Maybe you will become a little less depressed if you actually get a few hours of sleep. So make sure that you're not drinking any caffeine or caffeinated products, no coffee, no energy drinks or sodas anytime near bedtime. But I would just get those out because those aren't good for depression or anxiety in general. Also, make sure that you are trying at least to get in bed at an early time. Turn off your phones, turn off your screens, whatever they might be, tablet, laptop, or television, turn it off an hour before bed even happens. No excuse, okay? Do that. Don't exercise rigorously right before bed. That's gonna rev you up, okay? So make sure that you're doing that earlier in the day, maybe after lunch or early in the morning. Do a nice workout that's gonna help tire you out by the evening. But like I said, long-term relief for insomnia, That's the goal. That's the key, working on your depression. The fifth one, guys, is brain fog. Man, this wreaked havoc on me. Made me like literally lose my freaking crap, man. Best way to describe this is just this, obviously, this fog that's in your mind, or it's cloudy. It's hard for you to concentrate. Your memory is terrible. Your focus is terrible. This led actually to my social anxiety. Whenever I developed this after having my health anxiety and panic disorder and panic attacks, I would just stutter when I talked to people. I would stumble on words. I would go brain dead in the middle of conversations. So embarrassing. I would forget easy things, actors' names, movies, directions. It was like literally the worst. Whenever I would talk on the phone, I couldn't talk to anybody on the phone, especially if it wasn't a friend. If it was like me calling, talking to somebody for an interview, or somebody trying to schedule me in for a doctor appointment or something, I just couldn't even talk. I couldn't even function. And brain fog was a big part of that. So if you're going through that, that's another sign. The sixth one, guys, is fatigue. Not only are you not getting a lot of sleep, that's also one of the reasons that you could be dealing with fatigue, the lack of energy. But I'm gonna give you a little example on how your mind can work. I don't really like my day job, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm thankful for it, but I don't like it. That's not what I wanna do for the rest of my life. So when I go into work, I'm just going through the motions. You know, I'm kind of there. I don't have a ton of energy because I don't wanna make a huge career out of it. Yeah, and there's many of us out there like that. And a lot of you can relate to this. Throughout the day, I'm just doing it. I'm doing what I gotta do. You know, I'm not below production, but I'm not like an overachiever at my job. I do what I gotta do. But it seems like that last 30 or 40 minutes, whenever I know I'm about to get out of there, all of a sudden I become more chipper, I have more energy, I'm chopping it up with the guys, we're making plans, we're all talking about this and that, I'm smiling actually for once. Man, when I clock out, man, I feel great. I hope that is a good example of what's going on. Because I'm happier, more positive, my energy magically comes back into my life. Whenever I'm negative, depressed, down in the dumps, our energy just goes away. I'm sure there's some science behind that, but I think that that's fascinating, but it's also very confusing on how that works. But literally, being happier and more positive can actually change that tremendously, which I know is easier said than done with depression. The seventh one, guys, is substance abuse. I can relate with this. Alcohol was my number one choice. I use this to self-medicate for my panic attacks, health anxiety, my social anxiety, and also my depression. I would start doing this in the afternoon and into the evening, and then I would have horrible anxiety hangovers the next day, which would lead to more depression, more anxiety, and this was this crazy cycle. Then I would start drinking to make that go away, and eventually I was drinking every single day and I had a horrible habit of it. So a lot of people with depression are self-medicating. It's an unhealthy coping mechanism. They're just looking for something to, you know, shut the world out, shut their pain out. That can be drug addictions, even things like nicotine, okay? So substance abuse is a real big issue with depression. The eighth one, guys, is lack in personal care. This can be hygiene in the way that you dress. Maybe you just don't feel like brushing your teeth no more. Why? What's the reason? You know, I'm nobody, I'm nothing. Why dress to impress? I don't even care or love myself. You know, I'm not worried about my hair anymore. I'm not doing it. I would actually go through stints of time with this, especially when I was drinking a lot and binge drinking. I would go on these, like, you know, benders like for a weekend or like 3 or 4 days, or I just drink all day nonstop. And during that time period, I wasn't really taking a shower every day. I would wear the same clothes 2 or 3 days in a row. It was really gross and nasty. It's not a moment of time that I'm very proud of, but my lack in personal care was very, very evident. All right, 9, you are becoming closed off. You're starting to push people away. Your trust has gone down. Maybe people just don't understand you, and you feel like it's best to just be by yourself, to mope alone, to be depressed alone. Nobody understands you. Guys, I get that you're feeling that way. That's a sign of depression, but you can't close everybody off. You have to get some help. You have to, whether that be therapy or loved ones or something. Reach out to people on online forums, people that are going through depression as well as you. Do not close yourself off, because that's when things can actually get dangerous. And that leads me to my 10th one, is suicidal thoughts. 60% of people with depression have suicidal thoughts. First off, if you are dealing with this, talk to a professional, please. I'm going to give you a little bit of words of advice after this, but please consider talking to a therapist or somebody. I'm going to give you this number, 1-800-784-2433. It's a suicide hotline. I will put that in the description as well, so call that number if you need to talk to somebody about this. But guys, my take on that, we were all put on this world, for a reason, for a purpose. Everybody struggles. Everybody goes through pain, some more than others. But you have to realize how lucky you are to even have a chance. I've said this a bunch. Think about how vast this universe is. Think about the sand on the beach. How many individual grains? Take one of those tiny grains, there's trillions of them, right? And divide that into 1 trillion pieces and divide that into 1 trillion pieces. That's how small we are compared to this universe behind me, right? We're that tiny. Think about how lucky you are to actually be on this planet where all the conditions are perfect for living, right? You've won the lottery billions of times just to be here. And I want you to take that opportunity, guys, and run with it. Take what I'm saying. I'm not the best counselor. I'm not a professional at that. I just give you my life experiences with it in hopes to help you and help others. So that's just kind of my take. You are so lucky. Religious or not, I think you can relate with that. So guys, there is BetterHelp therapy. This is something that you need to do if you have depression, especially if you're dealing with suicidal thoughts. You have to get a professional's take on it. In BetterHelp, there are thousands of freaking therapists and counselors to choose from. You're going to find somebody perfect for you. This is in the description and in the first pinned comment. It's free to sign up, and I believe you get free trials. So try that out. It is more convenient. You can do this at home on your couch. If you don't feel like going anywhere, it's okay. You can still do this. It's also more affordable than going out there and looking for a therapist. A lot more affordable. So you can just do this at home. It's BetterHelp. It's down below in the description. If you're dealing with depression, you need to get help. Be proactive. Okay? Give it a chance. It's down there. Some other things that you can be doing, guys. Like I said, join Facebook groups and online forums. I have a Facebook group down below. If you're dealing with depression, join it. It's for any type of anxiety disorder and depression. Join that group. It is over, I believe, 1,800 members right now. A lot of like-minded people that you can relate with and get to know and talk to about your problems. Join it. It's down there. Guys, there's other things that you can be doing. Find out the root causes of your depression. Some of you are struggling with that, and I get that, especially depression. It's easier to find that for anxiety disorders. But there could be something else underlying that is affecting you and causing your depression. So make sure that you're searching through journaling and meditating every single day. I will put a meditation journal also down below in the description. It combines journaling and meditation into one. It shows you how to do both, so no excuse there. Go check that out. That's down there. Guys, eating right, exercising, being positive with your positive affirmations, CBT training, ASMR videos, guided meditation videos, channels like mine, subscribing and being proactive that way is another way to change your likelihood of recovering from anxiety and depression. So make sure you're being proactive. I can't say it enough. Guys, if you got some value out of this, like I said, please like this video. And also in the comment section, let me know, did you show any of these signs? I want to know your story on depression or your take on it. Also, guys, subscribe if you haven't, and make sure, even if you subscribe, to hit the notification bell next to it so you get updates when I put my videos out. That's very, very key and important. My Snapchat, my Twitter, my Instagram, it's all in the description. There's an anxiety store as well where you can get books and workbooks on depression. So make sure you go get those because those could help out a lot tremendously. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day.